Good morning, trendsetters. Good morning, trendsetters. We have a very, very unique opportunity of speaking with one. This young lady is so dope. This is the youngest Black female pilot in America. I don't even understand how she thought about going up in the sky so young, but thank God she did. And she's here with us, and she's blessed us and the interns with an opportunity to interview her on Trendsetters Talk. Welcome, Kamora Freeland. Welcome, welcome,
Thank
welcome.
you. Thank you so much for having me.
So, as we said, you're the youngest Black female. Pilot. I really appreciate the open door that you've made to STEM to many, many, many your age. I mean, aeronautics is something that a lot of people don't explore,
Right,
especially at your age.
exactly.
So how has this been changing for you since you became a pilot?
Mm. Well, so to start, it changed my whole life because I always wanted to be a marine biologist. I never thought about being a pilot. So just getting in the plane for the first time, well, be like in control of the plane for the first time, changed my life because now I changed my whole career aspirations and everything like that. And I mean, making history on top of it changed my life because I got to do commercial with Spectrum. I have a few other things coming out soon that I was been working on. So it really changed my life.
Um, Alinda, let's start with your questions. Let's start with your questions.
Oh, well, my questions were, how many flight hours do you currently have?
Um, I probably have around 110 flight hours.
Oh, that's a lot of hours. That's great. Um, in the future, would you plan to make a round the world trip?
You know, that's crazy that you say that because I just seen this boy who did it. He's currently well, he did it, and he landed in Antarctica, which he wasn't supposed to, and so now he's in trouble. But I seen that story, and I was like, I would want to do that one day, like fly to different countries myself and complete that solo trip.
Oh yeah, I actually saw that too
Yeah.
on the news. Yeah. No, that's great. That's great. That's wonderful.
Mahaya, do you have any questions? You with us? You with us? Asia, jump in real quick while
Um,
Mahaya gets the questions together.
how did it feel the first time you flew a plane?
Honestly, it felt so surreal because like it was just a random like weekend day. My mom tells me that I won a scholarship to get my private pilot license. She's like, and you have a flight like in a few days. So it was just it's like it caught me off guard. And then I go to the airport and like I actually was in control of the planes. Obviously, I didn't land or take off, but the instructor took off for me and he flew me to like a certain like spot. And then I got to like have control of the planes, fly around the shoreline. It was just so beautiful. So it was something that I've never experienced before. Like I've been on planes, but it's something totally different when you're in control of the plane.
Were you scared?
No, I was never scared. Like I don't know. I trust myself, so I knew that like nothing crazy would happen because I'm not gonna turn the plane or do anything that would like put me in harm's way. So I wasn't scared or anything. I was just more so like shocked and
Okay.
amazed.
Another question I have is, did others ever try to discourage you because of your age or background?
Um, I wouldn't say discouraged me, but there's definitely been some people along the way who wasn't like my biggest supporters and were kind of upset with me about it, but nothing like that really got to me.
A question that I had for you was, you said that your mom had won a lottery for you to take these flying lessons. Was it anything that you ever thought of prior to that?
No, not at all. She put me on the wait list when I was 12 years old. She put me on like, yeah, the wait list for the flight program when I was 12 years old. And then I never knew about it. So 3 years go by when I'm 15, that's when she lets me know that I got the scholarship to fly. And so it caught me completely off guard because I wanted to be a marine biologist. Like my mom just signed me up for a random thing. It's not like abnormal for her to sign like me or any of my siblings up for something. So it was something else that she signed me up for. And so it just caught me off guard, like to fly planes, like really? Like that's crazy. So yeah.
Wow, you know, destiny, right? Destiny. Mahaya, you ready with your questions?
Oh yeah. What specific way of thinking do you, or like type of mindset do you believe helped you stay focused and motivated for your career?
I would just say knowing what my goals were is what kept me going because even not every day I wanted to study, not every day I wanted to go. Sometimes I wake up at 4 a.m. to go flight training, and I didn't want to do that. I hated waking up. I'm not a morning person, so especially waking up at 4 a.m. to go fly, like I love the flying part, but I did not want to wake up at 4 in the morning. So I just knew what my goals were, and so I was like, I have to do this in order to complete my goals. And this is something that I love. Like I had started to love flying as the time went on. So I love doing it, and I knew that I wanted to be a pilot, so I was like, I have to do whatever it takes to get it done.
Mhm. And my next question, how has your story impacted your community?
Um, I would say people are just inspired by me, and me, like, I don't really think about myself as anyone that's like really that inspirational. I mean, I think my story is like pretty cool, but like, I think people are just inspired by me.
Got you.
I mean, after all, it is an inspiring story. Come on now. I mean, you're so humble. It's so nice to see that, that you really haven't honed in on this whole experience, even up to now. I think that you're just going through the motions and, responding to calls. And that's the thing. I heard that you were honored at the Tuskegee Airmen at the museum in
Yep.
DC.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that. Talk to us about that.
It's amazing. So I'm a member of Tuskegee Airmen. Um, and it's just like honestly so surreal being around like people who like paved the way. Obviously not a lot of them are still here to be with me, to be with us, but I'm still here with their children and people who still like are pretty influential. So it's just like amazing to be honored by people like that because like they've did a lot more than I have and they face a lot more things than I have, but it's still surreal, I guess.
What were some of the things? I mean, we do know that in any career choice, right? And just knowing that this wasn't your career choice, first of all, what were some of those obstacles that you had to get over?
Um, One of the biggest obstacles was about a week or no, about a week or two before my private pilot license. Mind you, I've been studying for I started flight training at 15, got my license at 17. So this is about a year, almost 2 years of me flying. And I thought I was prepared. I thought I was ready to take my test. But I go with like a totally different instructor, totally different school to take a practice test. And he tells me that I'm not ready. He's like, you're ready flying wise, but he's like academically, like you're not there yet. Like you don't know enough. And I was devastated. I was crying. I was so upset because like all
Wow.
this time I spent studying 2 hours a day and like I'm still not ready. I couldn't understand like how. But he told me my weak areas and what I need to work on. And so that's what I did for that week. Like I studied so much all day long. I was studying. I had my mom test me on flashcards. I was using Quizlet, actual flashcards, reading books, highlighting. It was so much in that week, and I crammed it in. But I went back, I tested it. I did another practice test from about 2 weeks, 2 days before my actual test, and he was like, "Wow, like you made a major improvement. Like how did you do that? Like how did you do that so fast?" I was like, "I just went over everything that you told me I need to work on. Like I spent all day working on what you told me to work on." And so he was like, "Yeah, like you're ready. Like take the test." And I took the test and I passed.
Wow, that's a story even for people who are in school, right? When they see themselves falling a little below, just lock in and, really put your nose to the ground and, you know, get this thing done. That's what it is. Just push through and, wow. Um, how do you feel to be in such a high profile at such a young age?
Honestly, I don't think about that. Like, I don't know. I don't really think about me being.
You know why I asked? I asked because, okay, did it ever dawn on you that you were getting ready to become the youngest pilot?
Yes, I knew that. Like, we knew that that was a possibility because we haven't seen anyone 17 Black female on the internet. We've seen a young Black boy, but we didn't see anything on a Black girl. So it was like, I that could be me. Like, so I knew it was possible, but I didn't think that as like I didn't think it would be as big as it became. Like, I didn't think no one would really care that much. Like, I was like, who cares about like aviation and pilots, you know? Because before entering this world, I never cared about it. So I was like, what random person is gonna like, oh, like, who cares that she flies planes? But people actually care. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think that even your story was so inspiring because just like you said, people don't really look into aeronautics. And I didn't think about it really personally until I met you. And
mhm.
it's like, this definitely is something that all kids should tap into, and
Mhm.
they take for granted, or probably somewhere along their college studies think, okay, we can get into aeronautics as a choice or something. But you really are the first one that I heard and said, okay, I want to be a pilot. I know there was a young man in Brooklyn that was also doing aeronautics. I don't know if he was young, also high school
Okay.
student. And I don't know if he became a pilot, but I do know that he
It was
was
training.
pursuing, yeah, a career in aeronautics as well. I'm reading some questions for some of the interns that are not here, so I'm acting on their behalf. So if you see me looking, that's what it is. Um,
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for the
Good morning. Good morning,
opportunity.
everyone. So I wanted to chime in a little bit because I don't want to not seize the moment.
Okay.
The program that Kamora actually got her um license through that financially funded it has been around for quite a few years now. And
Okay.
it is for young people. So there are a lot of young people that are flying through this program, the United Youth Aviators. And they're from Brooklyn, the two founders. They're from Brooklyn, they're NYPD office, they're aviation, they work in aviation. For NYPD, but that program is still around. So if anyone's interested, they can go online to United Youth Aviators and apply for the scholarship. Kamora is very humble.
Yes.
You're not going to get much out of her. So I felt like, that I should chime in a little.
So
To
you tell us, how did you even think to say that, okay, I'm interested in filling out this application for my kids, and what
Okay,
motivated that thought?
so the thing is, like she said, so I believe that kids shouldn't have free time. Free time is the devil's playground. So there's nothing that she haven't done. Equestrian, gymnastics, swim, tennis, volleyball, wrestling, taekwondo, everything. There's nothing that they haven't done. So it's very common, like she said, for me to tell them, hey, I just signed you up for X, Y, and Z. The thing is, a friend of mine sent me the information, and he actually sent me a TV clip. Like, he took his phone and took a picture of the phone number on a TV, and he asked me that here, and he's like, because I know your kids are in everything. You ever heard of this program? I was like, no, but I'm gonna call today. And I called, and I didn't tell her because I know that the guy said that it's a very lengthy list of students on the list. So I said, well, put her. I said, I would love for her to take pilot lessons. Fast forward, I harassed these people for 3 months. I kept sending her report cards. Like, she's an A student. She's this, she's that. Every 3 months. Okay. For 3 years, y'all. So persistence prevails. Okay. So finally, when she was 15, he was like, all right, she got it. So I'm like, okay, when could she come to the airport? So once she got it is when I told her. So she's like, oh, okay. I'll go. And she went. Um, what she didn't tell you guys is when she landed, the research she did. Tell them a little because I don't want to tell your story. Tell them about when you landed. So remember, she's a thinker. She's always thinking about how can she make more money. This is how her brain works. Okay, so go ahead. What happened? Come on.
So when I landed, I didn't mean to cut you
Okay,
off.
I'm sorry.
But when I landed, I wanted to see how much pilots can make. And so I seen $700,000. I'm gonna be a pilot. But I also wanted to see how many Black women pilots, like how Black female pilots were there. And so I seen that there are less than 300 Black female commercial pilots. So I was like, I'm gonna be a part of that change. There's not a lot, so I want to be one of those pilots.
So now for us, like I never even saw a Black pilot until Kamora started flying.
Wow.
So there's almost like 1 million pilots. 97% is white male dominated. 0.3, well, 3%, excuse me, 3% are Black. And out of the 3%, 0.5% are Black women, which is, like she said, 300 commercial airline pilots. No, we got to change that.
Right.
Why not? Why not her? Why not you? Like, it doesn't have to be that. It doesn't. They can make up to $700,000 a year. Why not? Why something else? So when she found that out, this is the same day that she landed that plane. She went home and she told me this. I didn't even know. My brain didn't even think to do that research that she did. I didn't know they could make that much money. I didn't know what the ratio of women and Blacks. I didn't know any of this. So when she said she's definitely going to be a pilot, I went online to find all the organizations that were all the Black organizations that she can join, just so she can be immersed in that environment, so she can see people like her who's doing it, who's done it. And that's what I did. So again, she sits on a board as a student board member for the Tuskegee Airmen Inc. She's a student board member. Remember, she's explaining about how she had that practice test.
Yeah.
They funded that practice test. They funded it through a whole different aviation school, someone we didn't know. They weren't Black. It was just a school, but it wasn't a Black guy who told her, like, no, you're not ready. Like, you're nowhere near ready. You need to go back to school. So when he came out the room to tell me that, like, what his foundings were of her, like, no, she's nowhere near ready to take the test. So I'm like, well, how much do she need to know? He was like, well, she pretty much needs to go back to the very beginning. So I'm like, okay. So he was like, she's not ready to take the test. And I told him right there, I said, I promise you, in 2 weeks, when that test comes, she will pass the test. I said, you gave her the information on her weak areas, that you felt the areas that she needed to work on, right? He said, yes, I promise you, she will be ready. So that day was 3 hours. And then, so it was really, they paid for 6 hours of pre-check flight training or whatever it was.
Like a prep check ride.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like she said, 2 days before the actual test, when she went back, he was blown away. He said, what did you do? I wanted to tell him so bad, but she had to speak for herself. You told her where she needed, the areas that were weak and the areas she needed to work on. And she did it. Like, it's possible. Like, everybody's not stupid. Everybody's not like, but it's true. Like,
Right.
like
Some people do take criticism at face value, like, look, this is your weak areas. Okay, so I gave you the script, go ahead and work on it. And that's exactly what you did. And
yeah.
that's what brought us here today. And these things are so great for the young people to hear that, there are obstacles, just like what you're saying.
Like, we could have listened and she not made history. We could have listened and put her in school and paid money out my pocket now for another year if we would have listened to him. But,
Right.
Again, like she said, everybody's not going to be your biggest fan. Everybody's not going to know your worth. You have to know your worth. You have to believe in yourself. You don't need no validation from an outsider. It starts within yourself, what you believe about yourself. Because remember, everybody's not going to know your worth. Everybody's not going to be your fan. Everybody's not going to support you. We would want the world to be like that, but it's just not like that. Like, there's people who along her journey didn't care for her because she graduated top of her class in aviation school. She did a interview one day at a school, and the man said, well, you told us about how, so here's I'm sorry, I know I'm a little all over the place, but I feel like the young people need to know this. Believe in yourself, because even adults will try to discourage you in the sweetest way, where it may go over your head and you don't know they try to basically set you back. You got to be on point with yourself. Again, the confidence. She have a confidence in her that I've never even had within myself. Looking at her and seeing what she does inspires me, because I'm like, girl, like, I don't even know how you're doing all of this.
But you do know, you planted those seeds. You made sure that you put her in environments that'll allow these type of things to happen. You know,
and it's not just, she's not just a pilot. She graduated a year. She did all this while in high school. Let me remind y'all of this. She's an honor student. She was on a varsity volleyball team. She was the captain of the varsity wrestling team. She did regular stuff, still flying on an honor society as what, secretary? On the National Honor Society?
Yeah, I think so.
She graduated a year early, okay? She got the Presidential Scholarship for Merit for Spelman. She was a dual enrolled high school student, meaning she went to Kingsborough College and high school at the same time. So when she got to Spelman, she went in as a sophomore in their honors program. What she did, she got a 4.0 GPA right now. Not only is she an honor student, she's a certified birthing doula. When she was 16, I took the doula course and I made her do it. She didn't want to do it. She was not interested, but I told her, Black women have the highest fatality rate in childbirth. And even if you never be a doula, you never know, a random person may need your expertise, or need you to help advocate for them, or even advocate for yourself. I think all young women need to know to take a doula course so you can advocate for yourself during childbirth. She's a lifeguard. Like, in a little while, she got to be to work. She's a certified lifeguard. She's been doing lifeguard since 15, and she still works like a regular person. She still does commercials, talk shows, photo shoots, go to college, fly planes, and she still got her little summer job. Okay, she's still a regular person. There's 24 hours in the day. There's no free time. So I wanted to go back to the gentleman. He asked, he heard her tell all of that during her interview. And remember I told you that there was a grown man who he said to her, so we've heard about all of the good things you've done, but what was the question? He said,
tell me about your failures.
Tell me about your failures. So what did you say?
I told them that I don't have any failures. Like, if I didn't get something I wanted, or something happened the way I wanted, I don't look at it as a failure. I look at it as a lesson, and where I can grow from that, and what I can do better next time. So I don't think of any failures.
So he was a little confused. And so I had to interrupt that interview and say, excuse me, this is a whole auditorium of students. And he was like, but he was kept trying to press the issue. So I interrupted and I said, she said it with confidence. She's never failed. She's learned some life lessons. That's it. There's nothing else to it. First of all, she's only 17 and she's done more than adults have done. So absolutely. She told you with confidence. What is it else that you're looking to hear? Fail where? She just said it's not a failure, it's life lessons. So to you ladies or gentlemen, sometimes you might feel like, that didn't work out. Like, I wanted it to go this way and it didn't. Like, when she went to that instructor, she didn't expect for him to tell her that. That wasn't a failure. That was a life lesson. You take from that. You build, you see where you can go and do better, but it's not a failure. Like,
right. And it's not the end.
It's not right. It's not the end.
It's not the end.
It's not the point is, you have to believe within yourself. Again, finding that self-love, finding that center of yourself, and really digging deep and following through with what your plans are, your goals are. It's possible. You can do it. She's doing it every day. I'm witnessing it with my own 2 eyes.
We heard that story, went with the Venus and Serena, that very same story play out in an interview where they tried to, get in people's head. You know, the world does that, and like you pointed out, young, old, people tend to do that. People tend to, look for the opposite side of the good story. And you have to understand that not everybody has that same mindset, that they would cave, that they would, but you're right. You were right to interject, because here it is, an auditorium full of young people, young impressionable minds, and here you go pushing this thing into them, injecting them with negativity where it could stunt their growth in so many different ways, and Kamora, just this is really one of the reasons why I really was on top of your mother's shoulders sometimes to get this interview, because we really, the young people have to understand that if you just push through it sometimes, if you just go through it sometimes, it'll all be worth it, and you are just what you said. What you put in is what you get out. You put that hard work in, you put that discipline in, you put that focus in. And one thing is, you set goals for yourself. Right. And that's major, major, major. I think that where some of us miss the ball is that there's no goal in place. Right. And I always, what I say is, a man without a plan has nowhere to stand.
That's 100%. And
Right.
I tell her, and I tell my other kids, and I tell you young people, why not you?
Why not you?
Why not you?
Why not you?
When you wake up, you look at yourself, even when you're having a rough day, like, why not me? I'm her. I'm him. I am him. I am her. Why not you? So I tell Kamora that all the time, like, why not you?
And representation is so important.
Very much so.
Representation is so important, Kamora. Just show up in the spaces that you're not even thinking that you need to be in, because there'll be one person that resonates, like, wow, she did it. Why not me? And what doors it can open. You talked about marine biology. Is that what you're doing in school now?
No, I'm doing international studies, minor in entrepreneurship and innovation.
So how is this all, how do you see it? How do you see it all, encompassing one another?
So I chose international studies because so to be a pilot, you don't need a degree. So that's why I was originally in as economics major. I wanted to do business, but Spelman doesn't offer business. So we have economics, which I thought was the same going into school, but I met with my counselor, and she told me that it's like two different things. And she was like, since you don't need a degree, just pick something like that you would enjoy learning about. So that's why I chose international studies, because I learned about other cultures, other countries, and I'm interested in that. And then also I chose entrepreneurship and innovation as a minor because truly I don't want to work for anyone. So like, yes, I would be a commercial pilot if I have to have a job, but that's not my that's not my number one goal anymore. That was back when I was like flight training and like flying. Like, I don't know, that was my goal like last year, the year before, to be a commercial pilot. That's what I really wanted to do. But now I'm leaning more towards being an entrepreneur. Like, I want to have my own business. I want to leave America. Like, I don't want to live in America. So like that's why I'm leaning more towards having a business here in America and take my money elsewhere and live in another country.
Maybe you could start another pilot program for the youth,
Yes, I still want to do that one day, which because United Youth Aviators just gave me the opportunity of a lifetime. I was able to get my private pilot license and didn't have to pay anything. So I would want to do the same for other like kids, because like I don't know, it's life changing and people might not be able to afford it because aviation is very expensive. So I didn't have to pay anything. So I want to be able to do that for other kids so they don't have to pay anything.
to pay it forward, just to pay
Correct.
it forward. Yeah. One of the things that, let's talk about STEM and your curiosity with STEM. It's aeronautics, it's microbiology, it's, the study of human beings. What where do you see yourself? What do you really, I know that you said that you wanted to be an entrepreneur, but what's your big goal? What's your big goal?
Really, my big goal is to be an entrepreneur. That's what I want to do. Like, I don't want to have to work for someone. I don't want to have to. I clock in at 9 and leave at 5. Like, I don't want a regular 9 to 5 job. I don't want someone telling me what to do, when to do it, how to do it. I want to be able like to do that myself on my own schedule. I feel like that comes a lot. That comes from my mom because she owns her own business, and so I see that, and I'm like, I want to do that. She has the freedom to go when and where she wants. Like, she's going to Nebraska for a month in a few days. So she's going to take me to Martha's Vineyard, then going to Atlanta, then going to Nebraska for a month. So it's like I see that, and I'm like, that's what I want my life to be like. Have my business and I do what I want. So like really that's my life goal. And also I want to create like generational wealth. I don't want like my kids to have to work, even though I will make them work so that way they can understand the value of money. But I want to do the grunt work so that way they don't have to, you know.
Excuse me, I have to let the dogs in. I'm sorry.
But so that's like my life goal to yeah, create generational wealth and show like leave America really. So
You said leave America, and that's really interesting. Have any other countries spark your interest?
so I'm leaning like towards Africa
Okay.
because yeah, I feel like every Black person needs to go back to Africa. Even if you don't have to live there, but at least visit once in your life. But me, I want to personally live there.
So
Have you been?
I went to Kenya in December.
so last year, how many countries did you visit?
I went to 6 different countries last year.
What countries?
I went on a school trip to London, Paris, Rome. It took us there, and then I went to Costa Rica, Kenya, and Portugal.
And now this year she's studying abroad. Where?
I'm studying.
How does it start?
So it starts a month in New York, and then it does a month in Argentina, a month in Barcelona, Spain, and a month in South Africa.
Cape Town.
Wow. Wow. That is so wonderful. So it pays to be in these type of programs in school, is what you're saying. It opens you up to the world and the experience of different cultures. And that's a wonderful thing. You know, it allows us to embrace humanity on a whole different level, you know, when you interact with different cultures and different countries.
That's why I chose international studies as my major, because you have to study abroad as that major, and then so I get to be immersed in other cultures, and I get to learn about them. Like that's what I do in school. I learn about other countries, other cultures, and other economies and things like that. So that's what I like about my major.
You know, again, what is it that you want to leave? Because I know that you're getting ready to go to work. So I want to wrap this up and thank you again for the opportunity. And Mom, you definitely have a spot on the podcast as well. We're gonna piggyback with you. What do you want to leave the audience with? Because this is going to be shown on YouTube, so other people will listen to this podcast. What do you want to leave people with?
I want to say, find out what you want to do with your life and do everything that you have to do to work towards that. Set your goals, like we were talking about earlier. Set your goals and get your goals done. Whatever you have to do, if you have to make sacrifices, because I had to make a lot of sacrifices. I wanted to hang out with my friends sometimes, but I couldn't because I had to study or I had to go flight train. So you're gonna have to make sacrifices, but in the long run, it's gonna be worth it. So find out what your goals are and find out how to complete it, achieve it.
Create goals, create goals, create goals, create goals. Mom, any last words before we jump off?
No, no, I just want them to know that they have to validate themselves. They have to love themselves. And, you know, like you guys said, set goals for yourself and follow through. You know, you're worth it. You're worth those sacrifices. And you do it young. You won't be an adult working. Like you'll be able to relax and enjoy. And, you know, there's some 60-year-olds that are working like hard work, labor, because they waited too long or they took their time. You do it now, later you play. You work hard now and you play later, while others are hurting, they're sore, or they're tired. You don't want that life. So you put in the work now, you make the sacrifices now. Wait, are these children high school students?
They're high school and college kids, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Um, yeah.
You know, one of the things that you guys both honed on in is setting goals, right? And the importance of having goals and following through and being disciplined. But mom, you said it the best. Take this time now. Take this time now while you're young. You got the energy, your brain, you didn't stop getting brain fog yet, and all these different things. Invest in yourself, and you will see the fruits of your labor, and you wouldn't have to be so laborious down the road, right? And this is something that I tell all the youth all the time, do it now. Lock in while, life doesn't start lifing, right? The responsibility doesn't roll in. Right now, you're responsible for yourself. And this is why the goals are important, right? Planting those seeds in yourself and building and accomplishing in your own confidence, in your own validations, in your own, learning to love you,
Mhm.
right?
If you wait for others, others will fail you. Even loved ones will fail you. Friends will fail you.
That's how life is.
Yeah.
Right, and we know that, right? Where others will fail you, you're not going to fail yourself.
That's right. Just
Right,
believe in
so the
yourself.
best thing is to take the time. Shaquani, thank you for jumping on. To take the time for even you, right? Because we can't move on to other relationships, other successful things in life unless we invest that in ourselves to learn what it is and who we are. Right, and that goes with everything that you put into your cup. Everything that you put into your cup. So thanks. Shaquani, real quick, since you jumped on so late, do you have any questions that you want to ask Kamora?
Is there a specific country you want to travel to?
No, honestly, I want to travel to every country in the world. Even if I can't go there now, I know one day I'll be able to go there. So I want to go to every country at least once.
Yeah, that feeds into what Alinda said. Do you want to, travel the world? Adam is asking a question.
Hi, my name is Adam. I am from Senegal. It's so nice to meet you here.
Nice to
I
meet you.
also currently go to high school. And my question for you is, to become a pilot, where do I start? Like, what's my first few steps?
I would say to look for scholarships, because aviation is expensive, like I said. So like I would say look into scholarships. A lot of people don't know that there is scholarships out there for aviation. So I would say look for scholarships. Also, you can have a free 30-minute flight with EAA. That's their website, right?
Mhm.
Yes, EAA offers 30 minutes orientation flights. So if you go on their website and look for orientation flights, you get a free 30-minute flight. See if you're really interested in flying. And so look into organizations like Black Pilots of America, Sisters of the Skies, Women in what is it?
Aviation.
Women in Aviation. Was it
Tuskegee Airmen.
Tuskegee Airmen? Was it Girls Who Fly or something?
Yep.
Like Girls with Wings, or I can't remember, but
The
just
99.
yeah, there's a lot of aviation organizations that you can look into.
OBAP.
Join, yeah, OBAP. So yeah, just look into aviation programs for girls, aviation programs for Black girls, aviation programs for high school students. Just look up different things like that. And then EA also has a list of scholarships that you can apply to on their website as well. So yeah, that's how I would start. Also, United Aviators. If you're in the New York area, United Aviators.
Got you. Yeah, I'll definitely make sure to check those out. Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, those were some great tips. Thank you, Kamora. Thank you, Kamora. Mom, thanks again. Thank you, Trendsetters. And Kamora, we continue to wish you and bless your days, bless your journey, bless
Thank you so
everything
much.
about what you're doing. Thank you so much. You always have a space here with us. Hopefully as our program gets bigger, you'll drop in and you can give them one-on-one. And we love to see you shine.
Thank you.
Continued success. Mom, I will be reaching back out to you, and thank you guys. Thank you guys for this opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank
Have
you.
a good day.
Thank you. Thank you.
Be well.
Take care.
Have a good day.
You too. You too.